Hey, Rally Besties, welcome back to the Branding with Annie podcast, where we talk about all things writing. In today's episode, I'm just so excited to be talking about characters. We don't talk about characters enough on this podcast. I don't know if you guys know, but I am literally obsessed with characters. It's the reason I write. Some of my projects literally start with characters. So I'm really excited just to be talking about my characters and my favorite characters, my OCs, about them, and just kind of fangirling about my book characters from my novels. And this is kind of I was going to say in anticipation, but no, it's already posted, it's already uploaded. This is as a celebration of my posting of my character profiles / meet the characters of my debut novel, Ghost Side, on my Instagram. Go check out my Instagram. I'll give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek if you're watching, visually. This is so exciting to me because I can finally show my characters to the world. And, they were originally just names, the 5 main characters of my book, Ghost Side, which is the debut novel that's coming out next year. So exciting. Anyways, I commissioned an artist to draw my characters, and I finally was able to create, this sort of character profile that I find a lot of different debut authors, or at least authors who want to kind of market their book and just kind of share their book and their characters. So I spent some money, splurged, and was able to get these beautiful, beautiful characters. So in light of that, I'm going to be talking about my favorite characters of all my books and just kind of chatting about that in this cozy little episode. So make sure you get a drink and sip along to it as we chat. And please also comment down below your favorite characters or your favorite characters from my list. So yeah, I love you so much. Thank you for listening in. But let's go ahead and get started. So one of my favorite characters that literally comes to mind is actually Amen. I think I've talked about Amen a lot. He was probably one of my first ever OCs of an official book manuscript. Project I First Met You in a Graveyard is a book that deals a lot with death, mental health, and it's also a romance story. So developing Amen kind of came very instinctively. Amen is sort of a character who I love because, I'm also obsessed with names. Names for characters, I'm obsessed with. So the name Amen is so beautiful and so, oh my gosh, I've never heard of a person named Amen. So even that is so new and so distinctive within just my array of cast of characters. So I love Amen. Let's talk about him. So Amen, he kind of really did develop from the idea of, I don't know if you guys know Jem Carstairs from the Infernal Devices series. He is one of those characters, and I feel like I'm so very much attached to soft characters. And I think the reason for that is because I am very much like these characters. When you think of very soft main characters, like sunshine characters, like characters who always look for the best in people, who are just so inherently beautiful. I think of Toru from Fruits Basket. I aspire to be like her, but I adore characters, even just Luffy. I'm just thinking of some anime, but those two just come to mind randomly right now. And those are the characters who are just sunshine characters, like Peter Millark from, the Hunger Games. What the heck? Characters who are just so inherently beautiful get my heart every time. So I really wanted to develop Amen to be like that. And even though I'm saying develop Amen to be like that, it's not even so much that, because when it comes to characters for me, the way that I develop characters is I simply just know them. They're in my brain. I just need to let them, talk, let them kind of just talk themselves out on the page. So Eamon was just a very, again, instinctive character who just came flowing out. And I think with a lot of my books, I usually have 2 main characters. So Kaido, who's the second main character in Project I First Met You in a Graveyard, very much foils this. And it's more so Eamon is there to kind of develop Kaido as a character. So Eamon doesn't change too much in the book. He definitely still is himself, but I see him coming out of his shell, which is a beautiful thing. And his love for Kaido, his love for just helping people, and all of his life he's lived in a funeral parlor, so he's known death his whole life. So finally meeting someone and loving someone like Kaido, he starts to actually know how to live. And he's quite in a dire situation. They're quite a poor business. His mother is really sick, so he's just been having to grow up. He's such a childlike adult, which is crazy. He's so innocent, but he has this huge world of responsibility upon him. So it's such like a weird, intricate psychology that I've been able to really explore. And I miss him so much. I really wanna. A lot of people ask about Project I First Met in Graveyard. I want to write it so bad, but I haven't gotten around to it. It is like my first book I've ever wrote, so it definitely has a special place in my heart. So that's Amen. Let's move on to another one. I just love him so much. You guys probably know a lot about Amen. Another character that I really like is actually Alex Lawler. Just me turning British for a little bit because he's English. Alexander Lawler. Alexander Lawler is one of the protagonists in my I'm trying to like word this properly. People word it so well, like when they introduce a project. In my 1800s-esque, London-esque, violin-esque, orchestra-esque, aesthetic-esque, dark academia-esque book. It's basically what's it called? A historical fiction. That's right. Historical fiction. Alexander Lawler is a orchestrator. So I'm really going to be talking about the psychology a lot in my characters in this video, since I talk very surface level. Oh, not really. I give you guys a lot of detail, but I really want to talk about the psychology about my characters. So Alex is a sort of character who I really wanted to portray this sort of sense of loneliness within art. Me being a writer, obviously it's difficult as it is being a writer, but I feel like a lot of different artists pursue art in a lonely sense because it is a lonely profession. And it's something that is sort of scary. So when I think about Alex, I think about this boy, like this little boy looking in the mirror and seeing himself as an adult sort of self and not recognizing who he is. And that's just depressing, to be honest. Alex has a lot of trauma, as a lot of our main characters do. Isn't that right? Writers out there, yes, yes. I see all of you putting your hands up. Thank you for being so honest. Alex Lawler is, oh my gosh, like literally, like wow. Literally, wow. I feel like I love him so much because he's so flawed. And a lot of my characters, I mean, apart from Eamon's just perfect. Eamon's just perfect. No, he has his problems, but Alex Lawler, and then when I get into my other characters, I'm going to, like, they're all just flawed and silly and stupid and mean and terrible people. And Alex, not so much is a terrible person as he is damaged. And the stuff that he does, he tries his best to do the right thing. But he's just so messed up in the mind and really conflicted with his inner thoughts and how he pursues art. So, and again, like Lewis is the foil of Alex. So I feel like Lewis, in this sense, is the sunshine character to Alex and his development. Alex, his mind is just not okay. Not okay. But again, the view about pursuing art and being afraid of what you're becoming, and also afraid of what sort of art you will end up with. And this is actually extremely relevant right now with my book Project Ghost that's coming out soon. I'm really scared about what people are going to think, and I'm so scared that people close to me are going to pinpoint things that happen in the book and be like, oh my gosh, that's what happened. You're exposing this person. Like, oh my gosh, like, is this about me? I'm terrified, besties. I'm literally so afraid. And like, there's lots of themes that obviously I want to pursue and show in the book, but I'm just like, wait a second, like this, I understand now what I'm actually writing about. Is this okay? What are people going to think? What the flip? And I don't really notice, like, I'm usually someone who's very, again, instinctive, and someone who posts a video like this without even looking over it, just kind of trusting in the process. But I think knowing that I'm actually going to publish this book, and it is something that deals a lot with like mental health, is something that is so, like, it circles back to like Alex and his psychology and how he ends up writing music about his trauma and his dead wife and his dead parents and his burning manor. Oh, like what the heck? Like, that sort of falling of the walls, the crumbling of his own self-pride. Not even self-pride, more so just like like, you think you have it all held together, but you really don't. And Alex is literally just the epitome of that feeling of being an artist and feeling like you can't hold back all this emotion. You can't hold back what your art is saying, what my book is saying. It needs to be said. You know what I mean? So that's Alex. That's Alex. I don't know if you guys are getting bored yet. Please tell me if you are. Okay, let's go on to, I think, 2 more characters. I don't want this podcast to be too long, although it's probably already like 20 minutes. Anyways, next character is, let me think. I'm thinking about a character who I haven't really told you guys a lot about. I want to talk about Kyo. Let's talk about Kyo. I don't think I've talked about Kyo in like any of my podcasts or videos on my YouTube channel. Kyo is a character from Project Prison, which I love. I really want to all of these projects I want to freaking write. Like the only project that I'm working on is Ghost Side, so I'm like I want to like revisit these characters so much. Kyo is one of the main characters and the other character is Jody. Anyways, Kyo is a character who he wants so bad to do what's right, but he's so aggressive and inherently angry at himself. And I think that is what I go through that in the book and really do express how he does, end up self-combusting basically at the end of the book. But he learns to forgive himself. And I think that's sort of the process of this character. And I really wanted Kyo to portray that sort of self-hatred that is in some cases and in most cases very like it's self-detriment, like it traps you basically, but in some cases it also helps you see sense. He basically kind of blames himself and is in a cycle of blaming others and blaming himself and blaming the world that he can't see what to do. And he's stuck in a prison cell with this character who is Jody. And it's really interesting because it's like a juvie, but it's like a boy juvie, but Jody, who's a girl, is actually in the juvie. So in a sense, I love stories that where like one character comes into someone's life and their whole passion, their whole view on life kind of why can't I speak? Shifts. It shifts just a little bit. Like it's like out of focus a little bit and just shifts as soon as like a character meets him. So Kyo ends up meeting Jody. And as some context, Kyo was sent to juvie. He doesn't really know why. And in the book, they kind of realize that their cases are linked. But Kyo had a little brother who I think was like an orphan brother, his like foster brother. And he ended up being killed before he went to juvie. And he didn't know who did it. He kind of has an idea, at least what he like hears on the news or hears from his grandfather, who is the only person who's in contact with him and stuff like that. But he also like, what am I saying? Sorry, my brain just like blinked out. What am I saying? Basically, he's so wanting to get out of juvie to have revenge on this guy. But he meets Jody and he has a newfound purpose of escaping to help her, to get her out of here because she's not coping at all. She's a girl and needs protection and she's a bit loopy, a little bit mentally not okay and physically not okay. So she needs help and the prison is quite like corrupt. Anyways, so that sort of newfound purpose is really interesting and the way that his anger redirects to, anger at the system instead of anger at like himself, if that makes sense. So he ends up, kind of shifting. I can't say that word, shifting his actions to help someone instead of progress his own self-centered purpose, I guess, which is kind of explored in the book. And it's sort of like the idea of like running. Oh, it kind of reminds me of the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, like how Coriolanus, yeah. He kind of has the choice to like go with Lucy Gray or go back. You know what I mean? Like that sort of selfishness or selflessness battle. But for Kyo, it's easy, okay? Kyo is not like Coriolanus Snow, okay? Anyways, that is Kyo. I hope you understood a little bit about his character from my rambling. But last character we're gonna be talking about. Let me see. I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite characters in my fantasy project, Project BB, which I have yet to finish. It's been like 2-3 years. Crazy. It's a standalone fantasy project, kind of a Robin Hood retelling a little bit. Anyways, one of my favorite characters is Harlow. Harlow is a beautiful little girl. She's so precious for this world. Anyways, Harlow, she actually has like only one arm, which is quite a like developing thing in her story. But the main reason, again, a lot of these stories kind of do, like, these characters really do reflect and push up other characters whilst also invertly developing themselves. So Harlow really does expose the main character of the book, which is Robin, really does expose her want, not really her want, but her, like, she can't help it, basically. She can't help but open herself up to this girl. And she gets really motherly with her and really does have a newfound purpose, because in the book, Robin doesn't trust anyone. She's been through trauma. She's literally like not normal. She's not normal, and she like closes herself off. She runs away. She literally is like a night stalking cat. Like, if you think of a cat, that's Robin. She does not take anything from anyone. But she opens up when she meets Harlow. And Harlow is one of those characters who's just so sweet. And within the book, I'm going to give you guys some details. But within the book, basically, there's like a little grub or like a little hob where basically Robin goes to like pick up something. I think it was like vanilla essence. It was like someone's birthday or something in the book, so she needed some vanilla. And she goes to like this old lady who usually sells it, but there's actually a girl there. And it's actually exposed in the book that she's actually from the kingdom. So, oh, sorry, I forgot to. This is like in the grub, so like in the slums. Like, this is the peasants. So she kind of got sent. Why did she get sent? I won't tell you that. Anyways, and Robin basically is like, oh my gosh, like, what the heck? What am I saying? No. Let me explain, okay? Give me patience. She ends up seeing this girl and she's like, I've never seen you in the grub before. This is a bit weird. Because it's a pretty small town. Anyways, and then she ends up going and giving her the the vanilla essence, the little vanilla seeds, whatever it's called. And something happens, like a commotion, and Robin basically forgets to pay the little girl. And the little girl is underneath this really angry, old, terrible woman called Chia. I don't know why I called her that. Chia was actually like a childhood nickname I had for myself. I think my brother called me Chia. I love that name. Anyways, her name is Chia, okay? And she's bad and ugly and not nice. Anyways, basically, Robin the next day is kind of like walking towards the forest, kind of like over there. And there must have been like a special like tree or something where the vanilla essence is from. And she basically is like a really like rainy day and she's walking towards it and she sees this little girl, Harlow, walking, and she's like about to faint because basically, Robin realizes that she forgot to pay. So the old ugly Chia forced her to go out in the middle of the night or like whatever, the middle of the storm, and basically go get some more. And she basically like nearly passes out. She's so frail. She's so malnourished. Like, Robin doesn't know what's happened to her, but she knows that she needs help. And Robin basically takes her under her wing and makes sure that no one else touches her. And that sort of vulnerability that Robin sees is kind of like the epitome of, that sort of idea of how her world is dying and how the people she wants to help is sort of like manifested in this girl. And it is extremely, what's the word? Critical? It's extremely I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, but it's important because in the beginning of the book, by the way, I have audiobooks of my first 3 chapters of this book, so go check that out. In the beginning of the book, she has this little girl that she kind of like just has to like deal with. Her name's Piper, and she ends up literally getting slaughtered at the start of the book. Pretty crazy, in the town square. And this sort of like new girl, this new like like Robin's almost like, I will not let another innocent child be slaughtered by the king, sort of thing, if that makes sense. So that's Harlow, I guess. She's also really cute, and there's a fun thing where basically they're kind of going on a heist because in the book she steals the prince. And then Harlow, since she actually was from the kingdom, she also has powers, which is really cool. She has like hearing powers where she can hear really quick. So she knows all the goss, basically. And she has this really cute thing where she basically ships Robin and Caro, who's the prince. And it's like basically they're developing a heist to like go over there. And then Robin's like, I don't know, like, yeah, they're like, how am I going to get close enough to him? There's going to be a huge ball of people. And then Harlow's like, wait, no, I think he needs to pick someone to like, you know, what's the word? Dance with. And that will be his wife, basically, which is pretty cool and pretty like, oh my gosh, right? Anyways, and then, I don't know. And then I think, yeah, Robin's just like, oh, I'll just like swipe him. I'm not gonna be pretty. I'm not gonna be one of those girls. And then Harlow's like, no, you have to let him fall in love with you. And like Harlow knows something. Because in the book, like Robin visits the prince like at night, and it's kind of like a secret little interlude between them both. So Harlow knows something. And she's so cluey, but she's so young and adorable and cute. And she's actually a lot older than she seems. And she's beautiful. And she does have really beautiful, like long, coily golden hair that covers like her missing arm, which is really interesting. And yeah, she's just so cute and beautiful. And like Robin cannot. Literally, when I read my book or like when I was writing, you know, the scenes where she was finally going to go on the heist, the parting between Harlow and Robin, nah. No, I can't do that. I love them so much. Like Harlow and Robin are the most wholesome characters in my book. Anyways, they're my characters. I'm sorry for all the rambling. I hope you enjoyed whatever you got from this episode. In light of course, my character profiles, my actual character art of my ghost boys from Ghost Side, I wanted to talk about my characters and other characters from my book because, again, I write for the characters. So this was so fun. I literally have been talking for like over 20 minutes. I hope you enjoyed the longer episode. I know a lot of people like the longer episodes, so I honestly love it too. Like 40+ minute videos, I'll click on it and I'll watch the whole freaking thing. So if you like this video, definitely share, comment, like, because it does help the algorithm. I never say that really. But if you're on my Spotify, thank you so much. Make sure you rate me on Spotify. 5 stars. 5 stars, please. And also follow me. And also, I do want to say quickly before I end, that Ghost Side has a really cool little Spotify playlist for you, which is really amazing. And a lot of people have been listening to it and sharing it on their Instagram, and I've been reposting on my story. So if you want to listen to the vibes of Ghost Side, my new upcoming debut novel, go listen to that. I'll have a link down below in the description if you are on my YouTube channel, or just check out my Instagram. It will be there in one of the highlight reels. But yes, I love you all so, so much. Please let me know what you thought of this video down below. And also, please, please, please also comment down below some video suggestions. I definitely would love to know. I hope to do more professional videos. Yeah, because I feel like these are quite impromptu, which I love. And I love just like chatting with you guys. It's like my favorite time of the week for me, just talking to you guys. But let me know some actual videos below because I need to give you guys actual content, if you know what I mean. But I love you all, and I hope to see you in my next writing episode. Yes, my next writing episode. I hope to see you later. Okay, bye, friends.